Subaig Hanger, welcome to the Tommy Sandhu podcast. I have to say, Subaig is one of those names you can't say it in an English accent. You have to go, oh, Subaig thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've had all kinds of variations of Summerbug, Surabog, Subash. So I've had every variation.
The bug thing's kind of relevant because of what your other job is. So yeah, you are a doctor turned singer, so you're around bugs quite a lot. So Subaig Singh could kind of work, but it's a kind of alter ego.
Superbug, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, actually, being doctor turned singer, that's what Jay Sean did, didn't he?
Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah.
But I think he was studying medicine.
Yeah.
See, you're the real deal. Jay Sean's just a wannabe Subaig Singh. It's official. Is that what you're saying? Is that the quote? No, I'm kidding.
He's probably got a bigger set of balls than me. He probably followed his passion at an earlier point in life, probably.
Oh, is that what it takes to find your passion? Is it balls?
I think so. I think for an Asian, definitely. You're going up against a lot of a lot of pressure. So yeah.
What? Hold a minute, because I think in that respect, yeah. So would you say you've held off from the music career until the doctory thing was going well, or the NHS thing was going well?
Well, I mean, I'd say, in my family, it was definitely an expectation that, you'd follow the, traditional path in the profession and stuff like that, So I think there was an expectation there. Both my folks went to university, both professionals and stuff like that. So I think it was just understood that that's what would happen.
Yeah. And was there ever a moment where you thought, I'm going to tell him that I want to sing songs to, and be in videos and have models around me? And I mean, was there a temptation to tell them, or did you just never even contemplate confronting them and telling them?
I think they knew all along what I was like. I was always an entertainer, performer, from childhood. So, they encouraged it, but they always encouraged it as a side thing rather than as a main thing,
Yeah.
But by the time I actually went for it, then, they were fully on board. For me, it's like a family business. My mom actually manages me. We've got our own record label and stuff like that. So they've gone full circle from a position of, old school, traditional views and stuff like that to like, we're going to do this together.
So that's interesting. Why go down your own label route, or what? Because that's something that almost people do down the line. Everyone wants to get signed. Let's get signed to a label. Let's make our music. Yeah. Let's get it out there. Let's get the demos out there. And let's get to a label. But you've gone straight in with I'll take care of this myself. Is that your academic side coming through?
I think it's definitely my mom's business side. She's a very successful, businesswoman, and she's very switched on with stuff like that. I think if it was down to me, I'd probably be hopeless at it. All the paperwork and the rights and the royalties and this and that. So it's good having that perspective. I just think it's just why give it away? You give it to a label if you have to give it to a label. If you don't have to give it to a label, you hold on to it. Otherwise you're literally giving stuff away. And in this day and age, the time at which I came into music, it's not like it was in the 90s or early 2000s where labels were splashing a whole load of cash on you. So literally you're spending your own money on yourself. If you're going to spend your money on yourself, you might as well keep what you made.
Yeah, it's an investment in yourself as well. But on the medical side of things, what's your area or what's your role within medicine?
So I have actually stopped practicing medicine about a year ago, but I've been a doctor for about 10 years and worked in A&E, so A&E doctor basically.
So you would obviously deal with all sorts of
A to Z,
right? But you've actually, so this is it now. You've hung up the scrubs. That's it. You hung up the stethoscope.
Done and dusted.
You hang up.
Done and dusted. Stethoscope gone, scrubs gone.
And so that's almost a ballsier step. You talk about having balls. That's the ballsier step to do it like that way round, rather than earlier when you're set. You were set, in that respect. So this is almost like your passion has gone. No, I have to override this career, or I don't know. Like that's a big decision. How did you come to that?
Basically, yeah. I mean. If I'm totally honest with you, the passion for being a doctor was never there. It is one of those funny things where the world tells you that, you should be grateful for it and it's a privilege and stuff like that. And I get all that. And, I do understand that. But at the end of the day, if it's not your passion and, you're making yourself do something which is just not you, how long can you do it for? How long can you wear that mask for?
And what is it about the music business that gets you? Because some people want the fame, some people want just to be creative. What was the calling? Where does the passion lie within the music scene for you?
Performing and being creative. Seeing a project start off just as an idea and turning into song lyrics. Just that kind of production line, that ABCD, that sequence of events. Where you just start with an idea and you put a storyboard together and you make a song, and you get the music produced on it, and then you get the video made, and then you release it, and then you see what the world thinks of it. Just that whole creative process is what does it for me.
Yeah, and there's a pressure. But hold on, don't you miss? There's almost like a hero-like status right now, particularly post-COVID and everything else. For doctors, you kind of, all doctors, NHS staff, they're like, they're worshipped right now. So you could have been a little rock star in the ward. You could have been the singing doctor. We've got the singing dentist and people like that. Was that not an appeal? Like, actually, I could do both here.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because when I first started singing, I thought I would. I actually marketed myself as Dr. Subaig Singh. So I use that, and I thought that would, because there's obviously, as everybody knows, there's an oversaturated market, the singer market. Everybody's a singer nowadays. So, how do you remain distinct? It could be your appearance, it could be something about you. So I thought I'd play on that, being a doctor, being a medical professional, stuff like that. And it worked for me in some ways. In some ways, it kind of backfired, especially in the UK scene. When it comes to music and stuff like that, they're not really down for this whole kind of middle class professional doctor kind of a thing. They want someone representing the streets, representing street life, stuff like that. So it can actually work against you in a lot of ways as well. And sometimes some people see it as a gimmick. You'll always be seen as the doctor who's become a singer, or the singing doctor, or the singing dentist, or the singing lawyer, or the singing ambulance driver. So for me, I was serious about music, and I wanted to be respected for the music that I put out there. I didn't want it to be a gimmick add-on to being a doctor. So I dropped the title, and I just rebranded myself and said, look, I'm just going to call myself Subaig Singh, and it's just going to be about me and my music now, rather than, as an add-on attachment.
Now, obviously, you're an academic guy, you're a smart guy. And even like you say, having your mum as a business manager and all that, you will no doubt have a plan as to where you take your music and how you fit into the scene, or how you don't fit into the scene and do things differently.
Yeah.
What is the Subaig Singh style? Because obviously Find My Way is a bit more sort of dancehall-y, I don't know what you want to call it, summery, that kind of vibe. And you've got full on the Nakra song. What was the high and Nakra, Fateh Chak. That's your kind of more Punjabi side. So
yeah.
Are you, is it kind of clear to you what you're doing, or do you want to reflect different sides of you, or what? What's the Subaig Singh style going to be, or do you not think about it like that?
Well, when I started off doing music, I was heavily, deeply into Punjabi folk, like traditional Punjabi folk, Punjabi Vidsas type stuff. So if you listen to my first sort of 5-6 tracks, they're very desi tracks, Bhangra tracks, and that's, I guess that was me. That's what I used to listen to the most. That's what I enjoyed the most. And as time went on, it's funny because I learned on the job, basically. I didn't come from a music family. I didn't have lots of music people around me, loads of sort of, I wasn't from a camp, particularly. So I was literally just learning on the job. And it was about 4 or 5 songs in where people started saying to me, listen, mate, this Punjabi desi folk business and that is kind of a bit out of date, and, you want to be doing more commercial stuff. So, I was conflicted, because in one aspect, that was my passion. But on the other side, people were telling me X, Y, Z, you need to modernize, you need to be more commercial, you need to do X, Y, Z, So it started off like that, really. So I started drifting away from the traditional Punjabi folk. I made quite a lot of fans doing that kind of music, so they all started moaning, saying, look, why are you doing more commercial stuff? And then you had some people who just assumed that I must be somebody from India who can't speak English. That's why he's doing desi folk. Because he doesn't know any better, so it was weird, so I had to literally just navigate my way through all this stuff and all these ideas and all these people giving you all this advice and stuff like that, and find my own way, and now it's come to a point where I started doing more commercial stuff, just to say to people, hey, look, I can do commercial stuff, and I'm born and bred in the UK. I've listened to reggae, I've listened to English songs, I'm big Tom Jones fan, so just to show that I can do extra stuff as well. So showing other sides to me, showing a bit of versatility as well.
You're a Tom Jones fan?
I am.
Yeah. You're a mixed bag in that respect. There's kind of, like I said, the dancehall kind of, I don't know if you call it reggae, dancehall. What would you call Find My Way? What kind of vibe is that?
So it's not reggae. I'd say it's
No.
a reggae vibe.
Yeah. Right. I'm saying you got that running through. You got Tom Jones kind of going through. You got Punjabi going through you. I've always said, I said that's what makes us us. That's what makes us different. And no one will really get it. And maybe we won't even get what it would be like if we were just Indian in India or English in England, you know, and born to that. But we're not, because even though we are British and we're born here and all that, we've got all this other stuff running through us. Plus black culture. I always say black culture influences Asians so much, particularly at the 90s and 80s and 90s as well. So I don't know, with all that mix going on, you know, your kind of next move, your next sort of song, or the songs that you're making, I don't know whether it helps you by keeping you broad or doesn't help you because you can take things in a number of different ways.
I think it literally depends on who you ask. So you'll get some people who say, listen, and I get this all the time. People say, stick to one thing. If you like Punjabi folk, just do Punjabi folk and just stick to that. You know, if you like Bhangra, just stick to that. Stick to one sound, create a brand, and do it that way. You get a lot of people who say that. I can understand the logic of that. I'm somebody who likes to mix things up. I mean, even if you look at my life, you know, I've done MMA fighting, I've been a doctor, I've done a bit of acting, you know, I've done music, different kinds of music. So I like to keep things moving, keep things varied, and you know, I like to surprise people. You know, sometimes, you know, once you pigeonhole yourself and you put yourself down a certain path, and you're kind of stuck there, and I find that a bit suffocating.
You're a one-stop shop, because now if you were doing MMA fighting, you could come into the ring to your own song, have a fight, and then if you got beaten up or if you had any injuries, you could fix yourself as well as a doctor. So it's like it's
and then
a bit of an all-rounder.
And then sing a sad song afterwards.
Yeah, or a victory song.
Yeah.
But there's a danger sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a theory in being a bit good at a bit of everything. And you could look, you're clearly a bright guy as well, so you can lend yourself to it. And I think you're also disciplined enough to kind of go, particularly if you do MMA, then you know the art of discipline. That's what MMA and that fighting teaches you. It's technique, it's detail, it's layered. There's so much to MMA. I don't do it, but I don't. I respect it, but I've never even been in a fight in my life. I've never made a fist, and I've never hit anyone, and I haven't been hit, which is ridiculous. When I tell guys that, they're like, "What?
You must be the only Sandhu I know who's ever said that."
I know, but you know, this is my fight. I go wait, because it doesn't. Like, wait, we can talk about this. Let's stop for a minute. You know, so I'm that guy, and I've always managed to get my way out of it, or run. As the case may be. But when you're a bit good at a bit of all these things, I don't know, is that harder? Because we know artists, what we love about artists in that many tricks is that we buy into them being that, you know, whoever it might be, from Punjabi to R&B to hip hop, whoever, dance, house, you know what you're going to get. Is there a danger with not knowing what we're going to get with Subaig Singh?
Possibly. Or maybe that's the selling point.
Yeah.
Maybe the selling point is this guy, you know, he's you know, he tries different stuff and he's good at a few different things, and fair play to him. Maybe that's the selling point. I don't know.
What would be the dream? What would be the ultimate, you know, if you would kind of go, right, you know, I want to take my music here? Because now, like I said, because of our background, you've got playback singing, you've got collaborations with people from different parts of the world, let alone the country. Where do you want to go with it? What would be ideal?
To be honest with you, I'm making moves now and taking steps to get into film, into acting. You know, all the other stuff that I do, I feel supports that, whether it's music, whether it's singing, whether it's martial arts or whatever it is. You know, I think that's basically where I'm looking to land myself. So that's basically where I'm trying to get. So,
and actually, the whole Punjabi movie thing. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I presume Punjabi films, because you can speak it, because of what you can offer musically as well. Yeah. There's a whole very vibrant scene for anybody who doesn't know. The Punjabi film scene is its own beast at the moment, and it's doing really well. Yeah. Is that something that appeals?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Bollywood. Like, I'll take it. I'll do the deal. I've told you, Tommy. I've given up being a doctor. I need money. I'll do it. I'll do the job. Yeah. On that note, on a practical level, you know, giving up work, giving up steady, solid income. Albeit I know doctors have worked like crazy right now, and everybody in the NHS I speak to is just like, they look broken. if I'm honest, my neighbour's a paramedic, and she's had to take time out because I mean, the pressure is insane.
They're all dipping out to Australia, or it's crazy. The morale is not great at all.
What did that trigger the move as well for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I sensed the environment and the morale was like that sort of like 12 years ago when I actually qualified. So yeah, it's always been like that, but it's probably got worse. But I'm not here to bash the NHS or bash doctors. Yeah. You're talking about seriously committed, enthusiastic, dedicated people. So if something's not for me, that's a separate thing to bashing the whole thing. I mean, I was in Thailand earlier this month, and I ended up in A&E with an infection, and I had to pay about 400 quid, just to go to A&E and get treated. So it's only when you go through experiences like that abroad that you actually appreciate, what we have here as well, and the healthcare and stuff like that. And, so I'm not here to badmouth or bash, doctors or the profession or the NHS. We all watch the news. We all know what it's like, and there are issues. Definitely, there are issues.
Wow. My stupid side wants to kind of go, hey, whatever infections you picked up in Thailand, I don't need to know about. I'm just saying. They'll be
the most boring types, I can guarantee.
Oh, okay, fine, good. Boring infections are absolutely fine. Okay, wow, confession there. Like, man, you must have partied hard in Thailand. So things right now, as you're kind of creating stuff, are you just going single by single, or is there like no, I think there's an album coming? I'm just kind of relating it in a little way, my own little way, to stand up. When you're doing stand up, you do little bits. I do my stand up, little bits. You think, oh, all of a sudden you've got 10 minutes. Oh, so you've got 20 minutes. You've got 30 minutes. And then you're like, oh, I could put all this together. So is that how the process works for a singer and a songwriter like yourself?
So basically, I would say that whatever you do, or whatever I do, it always has to be flexible. So it could be an album on the cards, or it could be single by single. I have to have multiple options, in this game. That's the way I see it, because let's say, for example, Find My Way becomes a big, massive reggae hit or whatever. The other 2 or 3 songs that I've got ready, which might be Punjabi folk songs, I might be thinking, I really need to follow up with another reggae track or something like that. So that flexibility and being able to, to move quickly or change direction quickly is very, very important. Otherwise, you can be like, bloody hell, I've just spent 4 or 5 months just making a completely different style, and actually what I need, is X, but what I have is Y. I have enough tracks to make an album. I've been talking and thinking about making an album for a long time, but that the problem is, in this day and age, from what I can pick up and what I detect from audiences, is that people have the attention span of a nit. They'll listen to your song for about 3 seconds and decide whether they like it or not, and probably won't listen to the rest of it. So you put all that hard work out in an album. Yes, you can create a lot of buzz, a lot of hype that you've created an album. Who's going to listen to the whole thing, or more than 2-3 seconds of each track, and then it's just going to be shelved, and then they're going to be waiting for the next single again? Are you going to be able to promote each track on the album with a video? Nowadays, you need to do a video, and you need to do a promotion campaign for each track that you release. So collectively, you'll be doing it for the album, but does that mean that you'll be, promoting a whole load of tracks badly rather than one properly? You have all these questions. So yeah, I do toy with the idea of releasing an album. I have got a plan as to what I'm doing in terms of releases. I want to do this one, then I think following up with this one, I think this one will be good because this one will be a curveball. So I've always got these sort of like chess moves going on in my head. But like I said, flexibility is very important, because you might be going down one track, current events change, something changes in the world, season changes, and all of a sudden you need to do something else. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think that adaptability, there's pros and cons in it. As you were talking now, I was saying it's good to be adaptable, and it's good to have a focus and a plan. So it's somewhere you need to, I don't know, I guess it's probably a lot like MMA, where you're gonna have your move ready, but if he or she does something else, then you got to move with another move. And, and so it's all of that really, really plays I think it plays into your skill set, as actually having that adaptability and physical fitness. That is a massive part of being creative. I think when you do your physical sports, how do you find that helps you when you're, to write lyrics or to get into the music? Because I don't know, I get such a buzz from when I'm working out, that I wish you could bottle that feeling then, because it obviously it fades and it's a feel good factor then. But do you use the physical workouts to help you on the creative side?
Absolutely essential for me. You know, it's I mean, I don't compete anymore in MMA or combat sports, but I literally train every day, a couple of times a day. You know, so yeah, it's
you're not married though, are you?
I'm not married now.
That's why you're training a couple of times a day. Just wait, bruv. Just wait. We're married. You got kids. Yeah, like there's the game changes. It's all fine now. You know what? Do like MMA. Do whatever you want to do. You go for it, son. Right? Because I'm telling you, I'm going to speak to you in like 5-10 years time. You're like, Tom, I haven't trained in 6 months. I'm like, yeah, welcome to my world, man. Welcome to our world, right? You got to nick it when you can. But this is great, and I think this is your time. Then this is your time to kind of do the training, do all that, be super clear. And go for it. You know, one life.
I think when you have a family, it's not about you anymore, is it? You know?
Absolutely, bro. You are servant. You are a servant in the house to their needs and to children's needs. You're wiping chittaras, you're making food, you're doing all sorts of stuff. So, and that's just my own, let alone the kids. No. So, your new song is called "Find My Way."
Yeah.
I thought I'd play a little game with you, because what I've done is I found 3 songs with "way" in the title. And what I'm going to test you on, Subaig Singh, is your ability to know those songs, right?
I've got a feeling I want to fail abysmally.
Yeah, probably, but that'll be fun for me. So don't worry. Don't worry. Every bit of misery that you feel, just know this: I'm enjoying. Right? I'm only kidding. So the first one, Frank Sinatra. Do I need to tell you the title of the song that has "way" in the title?
Let's see. Frank Sinatra.
He did it. But how did he do it?
It was called "Find My Way," right?
No, close. It's just "My Way."
My Way or the Highway?
No. I did it
my way.
You went quite deep there. Like, my way. Exactly. Right. Okay. Warm up one done. Okay. You got to get me this one. Lenny Kravitz. What's the Lenny Kravitz song?
Has it got "way" in it?
Yeah. That's the whole point of the game, Subaig. No, it hasn't. No, yes, it has.
Who's Lenny Kravitz?
Lenny Subaig Singh. Maybe this is me showing my age now. Lenny Kravitz is a cool, very cool looking dreadlock rock pop star. Probably made most of his big hits in the 90s, but still, I'll be honest, I saw him recently in some Instagram thing. Still looks incredible. So he did a song called "Are You Gonna Go My Way?" Do you know how it goes? Can you find the way?
My way.
No, I like that. I like your attempt. Are you gonna go my way? No. It's "Are you gonna go my way?" You know something? And I got to know. Okay, no, nothing from Subaig. Okay, final one. Okay, then let me see if your Desi connections are stronger. That's the way.
I
like it. That wasn't the one I was going with. That's the way, my way. It's fine. We got there. Between us, we've found our way. So that's it. We're here now. Listen, brilliant talking to you. Good luck with everything. And it's a hustle. It's a hustle, and it's tough, and it's solo, and I get it. I get the kind of the journey, I suppose, that you're on. What's the next move right now? What happens now? Now that "Find My Way's out, what follows it?
Another song, another surprise. It'll be something different. It'll be something unexpected.
Oh, like, okay. Have you already got it, or are you just giving it the?
Oh, it's ready. It's ready. I haven't shot the video yet. Yeah.
Where's the video going to be shot? Is it in Thailand? Is that where you picked up the disease? Sorry, not disease. The illness. No, sorry. Where are you shooting the video?
I'm shooting the video in the UK, but I am actually flying out to Thailand again on 7th of November. So I've got a bit of a deadline. I need to try and squeeze a video in before I go, and then hopefully in the new year I can drop this track.
Oh, it's a tough life. Good on you. Well, listen, enjoy Thailand. Good luck with it. And Find My Way right now is up and out there to be streamed, and watch the video on YouTube as well, as we've done as well. Good luck with everything, Subaig. Great talking to you. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.